What's up guys, welcome back to The Real Lens. We are back with another video today, and today we are out here in Heather Farms Park in Walnut Creek, California. Beautiful day out here today. I think we have a high of like 90 degrees, so we're getting a little bit of break from the heat wave that we've been having out here. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to come out here and shoot this video. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about a few simple rules that you guys can follow when you're out shooting your films. Of course, you can just go out and shoot whatever you see, which will look good. But if you want to take your shots to the next level, we're going to talk about 3 composition rules in today's video. Of course, there are a lot more rules, but I just want to focus on the top 3 that I like using in most of my shots. Number 1 is going to be leading lines. So you definitely want to use leading lines in all your shots whenever possible. Number 2, you want to go with the rule of thirds. I will talk about that here in a second. And of course, I'm gonna be walking around this park today showing you guys some examples of what I'm talking about. And number 3 is framing your shots. This goes hand in hand with symmetry. So kind of framing and symmetry of your shots. We are gonna talk about that as well. So let's not waste any more time. This is the beautiful park we have here. I'm gonna walk around, show you this park. And again, I'm gonna show you some different shots of these composition rules that I'm talking about. So you can kind of see what it looks like when you're just taking normal shots. And then when you take these rules into mind, you definitely want to use them to see how it's going to take your shots to the next level. So with that being said, let's go start walking around here and putting some of these rules into action. All right, now here is one example of how you want to use leading lines. So let's say we want to shoot this little pond here. You can shoot it from this angle here. Obviously, you can still see the little pond. But there's nothing that draws your attention to the pond. We got some trees in the background. We got a trail over there. We got some trees. But here is how you want to use leading lines. So if we look over here, we have this little canal little thing here leading into the pond. So what we want to do is we want to find a way to bring the viewer's eyes to whatever we want them to look at. So if we come here, we have a line that leads directly to the little pond there. So that is going to lead the viewer's eyes right down this little line here into the pond. Much better shot than from above when we were initially taking it. So that's one way that you want to use leading lines. Of course, you don't always have leading lines in every single shot. So that's why I said whenever possible, you definitely want to use leading lines. You see how it changes from when I was up above shooting. You can see the pond, but it doesn't draw your eye specifically to it. As to where when I get down, I use that little canal there as a line. It automatically leads your eyes from that little canal straight. You want to see what it's leading to, and that leads directly to the pond. So again, whenever possible, look for leading lines in your shots. So the next rule I want to talk about here after the leading lines rule is the rule of thirds. This is basically where you want to take your main focus of the shot, and instead of leaving it right in the middle of the screen, which still does look good, you want to go ahead and position that main focus in one of the corners, either up here or down on the bottom corner somewhere. This just gives your shot a little more composition. It gives it more balance instead of just keeping your focus right in the middle of the screen here. So again, I'm going to show you an example back here of how you want to use the rule of thirds. All right, so right here we have a shot. We have them sitting on this log here. I have them right in the middle of the screen. Again, it's still a good looking shot, but if you want to put some balance and some more composition into the shot here, what you want to do is, if you look at the graph on the screen here, you want to go ahead and put the main subject of the shot here into one of those points. So I can put them on the top left. As you can see, it gives us more of the background. You can kind of see where they're at if I put them on the top left. I can move them to the bottom left there, again, which shows us more of the sky, more of the trees back there. I can move them down to the bottom right corner. Again, it just shows more of the background. And then you can also put them on the top right up here. So you can see that's a much better picture in one of these corners here. Then if we just had them sitting right here, just right in the middle of the screen. And here's another example of how to use a rule of thirds. We got this little guy here. We are going to go ahead, instead of just doing this and putting them right in the middle of the frame, we can zoom out a bit here. We can get more of the landscape, and we can put this guy right on the top right corner here. Another thing that you also want to follow, I didn't really touch on it too much here, but whatever the direction your subject is facing, you want to put him on that corner. So if he's facing left, you want to go ahead and put him on this corner. If he is facing that way, you're going to want to move it to this corner here, so you can kind of see which direction he's looking in. If you do it this way, you kind of wonder what that swan is looking at. It kind of blocks your view. So it doesn't make much sense unless he's facing that way. So he's following along perfectly. So you want to put him on the top corner relative to whatever direction he's facing. So you can see that gives us a lot more background to work with. If we put him in one of the corners there, instead of, again, just doing this and getting him right in the middle, again, which still looks decent, but you want to go ahead and position him in one of the points using the rule of thirds. And here is an example of framing and how you want to use framing. So let's say I want to shoot that little waterfall in the back with these little floating islands that are there. Again, I could definitely shoot from here. You can still see it right in the center there, but there are a bunch of other things going on around the waterfall. So what I did is I kind of looked around, and again, you're not always going to get this kind of situation here, but I see these sticks here that are supposed to be holding up a tree. So what I can do is I can kind of come back here, and I can get the shot from right between these two sticks here and frame the shot right in between the sticks. So again, we have the waterfall back there. I can zoom in a bit here. And then that gives you a frame between those two sticks. And we got the waterfall right in the middle, which kind of draws your attention to it there. All right, and here is another example of how you want to use framing in your shot. Again, the other one that I just showed you, it's not always going to happen. You're not always going to have perfect sticks there. So I'm going to show you another example of framing with this little lake back here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to position the shot using framing and symmetry. All right, so if we're filming the water here, obviously we can get down here, we can zoom in. We got some ducks in the background there. We get the shot of the water. But again, this shot right here is not really framed. So what you want to do, I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to go ahead and back up. I am between some brush here. There's some brush there. There's some brush there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to back up, and you can see it's already perfectly framed. That water is right in the middle of those two bushes there. Again, you're using symmetry. You're using the same exact size bush here and here. So we got perfectly balanced brush on each side. And then we got our shot right here, right in the middle. So that's exactly what you want to do. You want to just use what you have around you to go ahead and perfectly center the shot that you want to get. So again, in this shot right here, we do have framing and we have symmetry going on. So there you go. Those are some composition rules that you want to follow when you're out filming. Again, I know that some of these are not possible at all times, like some of the framing, some of the leading lines. Obviously the rule of thirds you can use all the time. You don't always have to use these rules. They're not set in stone, but you definitely want to use them when you can. Again, these are not the only rules you want to follow when you're out shooting. If you want me to make kind of a part 2 of this video and go over the other rules that there are out there, definitely let me know. Drop in the comments below and I'll be happy to make another part 2 of this video. But also let me know in the comments below if you are following these composition rules in the videos that you're making yourself. And just a little side note, I am shooting all these shots with my ND filter on my Canon M50 camera. I did do a video, if you want to check it out, up here. It is a video describing what an ND filter is and why you want to use it. So definitely go check that video out there if you are interested in that. But that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, go ahead and drop in the comments below. go ahead and drop a like and subscribe on the channel. Make sure you follow everything we're doing on here. Again, we have Julian over on the East Coast. He's got some things in the works as well. So make sure you turn on the notification bell because we will be dropping a lot more videos here soon. But that is going to do it for this one. I appreciate you guys watching and we'll catch you guys on the next one.